Well, welcome to the Facebook Pavilion at the Republican National Convention. I'm here with our many friends from Facebook, and we're going to chat for a couple minutes, take questions, give you a feel for what's going on. Today is Security Day. Safety at home, safety abroad is the theme of the speakers this afternoon and this evening at the Republican National Convention on its opening day. It's also a day when they have to do a lot of business, adopting rules, going through a lot of procedures. So part of the day will be spent on the party organizing itself, and part of the day will be spent setting the stage for big ideas about safety, both at home and abroad, for the general election. The general mood here is very positive. There's still some dissidents. Excuse me, I'm gonna drink this. But I think overall people have decided that the Trump-Pence ticket works, and I think Republicans generally are very positive about it. Certainly what I've been getting, talking to people, walking around, is a tremendous level of enthusiasm. I talked this morning to the New York State delegation, about 400 people, very positive, very, very enthusiastic, and of course one of Trump's biggest states. So there are a lot of people out who feel that they have a real shot at changing things, and that the Trump ticket, with Mike Pence added to it, is actually going to really help them in their home states. I was asked by Sonny Olson when I'm going to speak at the convention. Callista and I will both speak on Wednesday evening, and we're going to speak about making America first again, and we're going to focus on making America first in safety at home and safety overseas, and what needs to be done in an age when you have shootings of police in Dallas and in Baton Rouge, what you have to do when you have events like Nice, where the Tunisian immigrant killed 84 people, what you have to do when you have a coup in Turkey and you have Erdogan, the president, becoming increasingly dictatorial, increasingly Islamist. So it'll be a very interesting speech. That'll be Wednesday evening. Andrea Kirkham asked, late last night I heard that they're still trying to overthrow Trump. Is that true? Well, there are a small group of people who are kind of bitter enders who are unhappy, but the fact is, when you have a nominee who carried 37 primaries, and you have a nominee who got more votes than any Republican in history, it's pretty hard to overthrow it. He has the organization, he has the momentum, he has control of the convention. Reince Priebus, the Republican National Committee chairman, has done an amazing job. They have built a real organization for the fall. They have put together a great convention. When you see it tonight on TV, I think you'll agree that they have done a really outstanding job. And I think Reince Priebus can take a lot of credit for it. At the same time, I think Paul Manafort, as campaign manager, has really brought together the Trump operation in a positive way. And I think that the Trump-Pence ticket really helps reunite the party, which is very important. Naveen Kiran says, how can Trump and Pence, the entire GOP, change the impression that Republicans are racist, xenophobic, etc.? Well, let me start with this evening when Melania Trump is going to speak. Since she is a first-generation American immigrant, it's a little hard to argue Trump's anti-immigrant. He's for legal immigration, and you'll have a number of stories throughout the course of this 4 days that make that point. I think in terms of Trump's position on race and his concerns about race, when you look at the 3,200 or 3,400 murders in Chicago since Obama became president with nothing effective done to be helpful, I think you can make the argument that Trump has a great opportunity with Pence to go out into America's inner cities, to go to Newark, to go to Detroit, to go to Baltimore, to go to Southside Chicago, to make the case that in fact we can put together a better campaign and better solutions than the Democrats who have failed so clearly to do anything for the inner city. But I think that was a good question. Marie Biscardi, in my lifetime I have never seen the country more divided. Do you think we can ever truly get back what we have lost? Well, I'm old enough, Marie. I remember the divisions over the Civil Rights Movement, the divisions over the Vietnam War, the divisions over the free speech movement, the rise of the Black Panthers and the anti-police campaign of the late 60s. I remember radicals bombing the University of Wisconsin at Madison. So we've been divided before. This is not a new thing in American history. As part of the diversity and the energy of the American system. I think what it's going to take is a leader who establishes a series of goals that bring us together through the momentum of the goals. It's not, and by the way, if I look like I'm perspiring, I am because it's hot. It's not that they bring us together by having everybody sit in a room and sing Kumbaya. They bring us together because they project big enough things to do. John F. Kennedy saying in 1981 or 1961, let's put a man on the moon in this decade. Well, when he said that, the rockets didn't exist, the systems didn't exist. It was like a dream. Yet the fact is that 8 short years later, we had a man on the moon. That energy of the Apollo project brought us together. When Eisenhower was president, he said, let's build an interstate highway system. And the energy of that huge infrastructure project brought us together. So Trump has to articulate a series of changes large enough that people say, yeah, that's worth rolling up my sleeves. That was worth my joining a team. That's worth me getting it done. Steve Haber says, why has Kasich done a disappearing act? Seems out of character that he's not supported Trump. I really can't answer that. I like John Kasich a lot. I think of him almost as a younger brother. He was absolutely the key to our balancing the federal budget for 4 straight years when I was Speaker. He had been a tremendous governor of Ohio. But I really wish he would change his mind and decide, since the convention's in his home state, that he's just as a supporter of the Republican Party and the Republican ticket, he's going to show up. The truth is, excuse me, Trump is going to be very helpful to Rob Portman in Portman's re-election. I'll be talking this afternoon to about 500 of Portman's key volunteers. Rob Portman's a very important senator, and Trump is going to go all out to help Rob win. John Kasich would help Portman and help the Republican Party if he showed up and was a little bit, tiny bit of a team player. And I hope he'll reconsider and maybe have a surprise visit by Thursday night. Stephen Chrétien, who I just met. This is wild. Stephen Chrétien actually came to Williamsburg to be at a book signing the other day, and it's like, wow. And he is probably the most frequent Facebook Live questioner that we have. I said, what was it like seeing Senator Ernst last night? Do you expect her speech to launch her into the national spotlight, much like Obama's 2004 address did for him? That's a great question. It was great to see Joni Ernst last night. She is a terrific senator. She has a wonderful background. She's going to do a good job tonight. She's speaking on keeping us safe tonight, has practical experience in the military in Iraq and Afghanistan. In addition to being a state senator before she was a U.S. senator, I think she's a great, great leader, and I think she has a wonderful future. And I look forward very much to seeing what she says tonight. But I can tell you that I'm very, very impressed with Joni Ernst. Excuse me.
I need more.
Stephen what? Stephen what?
It's the same Stephen.
I'm sorry. What type of problems do you think the Sanders delegates will cause at the DNC? I don't know. My instinct is that the Democrats are actually more bitterly and deeply divided than we are. That the Sanders people are more angry at Hillary, and that the number of activists who are going to Philadelphia is astonishing, based just on what we've read about renting out entire campgrounds and literally the number of people that are going to show up out there. So I think next week may be even more fascinating than this week because of the deep tensions over Israel, the deep tensions over police versus Black Lives Matter, the deep tensions over the whole process of reform. And I think that you might see more tension and more challenges for Hillary Clinton than you're going to see here for Donald Trump, where I think 90% of the anti-Trump energy has disappeared, and people are beginning to be pretty comfortable with the way it's going. Janelle, Mr. Pence has beliefs and past actions politically that are the opposite of Mr. Trump. How are we supposed to reconcile this? Well, I think anytime you take people who have had a long career, and Mike Pence has been a state legislator, he's been a member of Congress, he's been a governor, and times change. You know, the fact is that something that made perfect sense 6 years ago may not make sense now. Plus, as a general rule in American history, the vice president modifies to the president, not the other way around. I think Pence is a very, very good candidate. He has been a very good governor. Callista worked with him when he was a freshman on the Agriculture Committee, and she knows him and really likes him and respects him. And I think Mike is going to be a great asset to the ticket. And I think the ticket as a team is going to be very, very effective in winning the general election. And we'll be doing more Facebook Lives. Are we doing one tomorrow?
Yeah, we're doing that tomorrow.
What time?
Between 2:45 and 4.
Huh?
Between 2:45 and
sometime around 2:45 or 3 tomorrow, I am told we'll do another Facebook Live.
From here.
So, right here.
Yeah, right here.
We'll be right here. Okay, thank you.